Welcome back to Briggs on Books, where we talk to authors about their books, or we just talk to authors about being an author. It's a lot goes into being an author, from finishing writing the book, which a lot of people can't seem to get finished writing, to getting the book published, getting it promoted. Our next guest, he's done all of it, but also he's a public speaker and he goes and talks to author groups. Welcome, James Flaherty. He's an
Hello,
author,
Mike.
by the way, and
Good,
public speaker.
good to see you again, Mike.
Yeah. And I know you have a bunch of speaking engagements coming up. Tell us a little bit about that. Oh, before we do that, though, I'm just going to pop his book cover up, which we're not here to talk about today, but I'm going to plug it anyway. Embrace Your Age. Uh,
Okay,
James, is it all right for me to tell your age, or you
that
want to tell our viewers?
that that's the most recent book in my bag of tricks, and I do use that very much as a basis for talking because it speaks to a subject that I love, which is aging cheerfully and productively.
Can we
No,
say your age on the air?
I can't lie about it anymore. This September, I will be 89 years old.
Wow.
Uh,
And you're active. You're a very active person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do 30 minutes of really serious, heavy breathing exercise in my pool
Oh,
every morning.
yeah.
Uh, and I don't know, and I'm busy. This is my daily schedule.
Oh, my
Every
goodness.
every line is every line is a day, and I live up to it.
From doing talk shows to all kinds of other things, huh?
Doing talk shows, and I get to do friendly video casts. This is it's a wonderful break in my day, because I think, good, I get to talk to Mike and
Yeah.
relax for 15 minutes and chat about life and stuff.
Well, tell us about your public speaking. If somebody were to encounter you and you're speaking someplace, what would they hear? What are you going to tell them?
Hmm. First, a comment about speaking, because there's a wonderful statistic that public speaking is what was I read? It's people's number one fear is
Ah,
public speaking.
yeah.
Number two is death, which
Wow.
means that basically that means to me that if you go to a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than having to stand up and give the eulogy.
Yeah. That's
And I think the other comment was, I think it was made by Georgie Jessel many years ago, something about from the moment your brain starts working from the moment you're born, and then it comes to a total stop the moment you have to stand up and speak. But and some of that is true. You walk out on an empty stage most of the time, and there are anywhere from 100 to 500 people
yeah.
sitting there, hoping to God you're not going to bore them to tears, and you have something to tell them. You want to share an idea or a belief or a concept, and it's something that you really believe, that you really feel.
Hmm.
So what do? You have anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 to, if you're giving a keynote, maybe up to 40 minutes, which is a long time
Yeah.
to not bore people to tears. And you want to inform and educate and entertain. You know, it, you're making a performance any way you cut it. I've been on a few equity stages in my life,
Hmm.
and those are nerve-wracking enough. But at least you have a script that you've memorized, and you go out and you think, please God, don't let me forget a line today. But you're playing against other people too, so it all comes to you, and you get yourself into the mood. When you're out there giving a speech, it's just you and your thoughts and your concepts, and you hope it's all organized in a way that's going to make sense to those poor people who have to listen to you. So I try to think, what can I do for them so that they can listen and say, gosh, I'm glad we came today. We're learning something, or we have a new idea, and this is something we can talk about or that we need to talk about, no, then you feel like, hot damn, I succeeded. I got the point across, and you left, and they really applauded, and they meant it.
Well, you have to be entertaining. I guess it's like you're putting on a show.
Pardon me, sir.
You say it has to be entertaining, so it's almost like you're doing a one-man show.
Well, you are, and obviously you're not standing up doing an hour of improv.
Yeah.
You're not a comedian. It's wonderful if you have a subject that allows you to bring in a laugh or to make the audience laugh, because humor keeps people with you. They love to find a reason to laugh and to smile with you. But you are giving a performance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't just stand up there and say, okay, I know. About the only way people are going to listen to you if you're completely deadly would be for me to stand up and say, all right, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly how to cure brain cancer and ED. You know, well, you're going to listen to that. I mean, you're not going to close your ears and your eyes to me. But most people are talking about other things. I know I'm talking, as I've told you, about aging cheerfully and productively, or living a long time. You know, wake up on the right side of the grass every day and say, wonderful, great, another day. I like that.
What did you say? Something about the next 20 years, or you had a great quote before we came on the air.
Right. The book I'm writing right now. It's another nonfiction to go with the first two nonfiction books I wrote were these. Mm-hmm. The one you showed, Embrace Your Age, and before that, Dear Old Friends. And before those, by the way, I had two fiction novels.
Nice.
I wrote The Role of a Lifetime and Claire, Wife, Mother, Mistress, Murderer. But I used an old painting of my younger daughter when she was much younger on that, and I sent the book to her, and she said, "Well, I've never murdered anyone." I thought, I wonder why my children are so smart ass, and I thought, I wonder why. The new book underway is called, at least the working title, is Did you ever think your last 20 years might be your best 20 years? Mm. And it's a happy thought, and I actually believe it. I'm having the time of my life, and people say, Jim, I mean, at 89, you're closer to making your final goodbyes. Yep. But I swear to you, I promise you, Mike, I don't go to bed thinking, gosh, I wonder if I'll make it through another week. Mm. I'm planning things that have a 5-10 year payout because I expect to be around. Maybe 10 years from now, I won't want to do public speaking. Yeah. That's why I'm focusing on public speaking now. The next 5 years, it's fine. Yeah. You know, I'm happy to do it.
Well, you have to stay alive because you have made commitments to speaking and being places and publishing books and stuff like that. So now you have some speaking, or you're going to be at some workshops coming up. Is there any that are public?
There's one organization in the world that I absolutely love. It's called Modern Elder Academy. There are about 5,000 of alumna or alumni, I don't know which is correct, around the world. They have a daily blog. I invite all of your devoted listeners to write modernelderacademy.com and ask to be put on the daily. It's a free daily blog. It's absolutely brilliant. I read it for 2 years, and then I signed on to go to I went to one workshop, loved it so much that 8 months later I went back to another one. They also have free monthly webinars for an hour now and then, which are great. And the first one I went to was on the blue zones, which I don't know whether you've ever read any of those books, but written by a wonderful fellow named Dan Buettner, who discovered 5 places in the world where there are more centenarians than any place else in the world. And they named them the Blue Zones.
Huh.
And I went to a workshop with that. And I was there for a full week with Dan and Chip Conley, the founder of Modern Elder Academy, which we call MEA, much easier to say. Loved it so much, I went back 8 months later to a workshop based on the book by Richard Leider, The Meaning of Purpose, which is a wonderful book and a very important reason for living. One must have a purpose. And meanwhile, MEA has attracted me and invited me to come and help facilitate workshops on the Blue Zones. So they're going to do 4 workshops a year with the new Blue Zones organization, which are terrific people. And it's a wonderful concept because it's all about living a healthier life and therefore a longer life. And it's very, very clear once you read about it and see what they do. It's terrific. There's one in Costa Rica, Okinawa, Icaria, Greece, Sardinia, and even one in Loma Linda, California, that happens to be a religious retreat.
Huh. Blue Zones. I was just about to ask you where are they, but I might travel to some of those, Costa Rica and the Greece and things like that.
Here was the original book on it.
Got to see where. I want to see what they're eating and how they're living.
Yeah, it's very good. Secrets for Living Longer. It's quite good.
James, we are running out of time. Will the public? Where can the public go see you speak? Is there anything coming up, or can they find that on your website?
No, I mean this will be the newest thing that I'll put on. I'm always happy to put you on my website.
Nice.
And there are some other things that have been very recent. I don't have a big public offering coming up. Well, I may have a second TEDx talk coming.
Oh, that'd be.
I have one behind me, and I'm having an interview with some nice people next week about a possible second one.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, we're way out of time, James. I could just talk to you all day long. We get carried away. Any last thoughts you want to tell our viewers about you or your books or life in general?
I think life in general, I really would like everybody, in spite of all the complexities and confusion and the lack of gray matter floating around the world, to focus on each other and focus on the contacts in your life and focus on especially on the people who are living alone. Loneliness is just the kiss of death. So pick 1 or 2 people every day to give a phone call to say, I'm thinking about you and I want to know that you're all right. It's very important. I'll also give listeners another statistic that people say, huh? Is it true? It's true. People who go to a house of worship of their choice 4 times a month live 4 to 8 years longer.
Wow. That's a great statistic.
So, Mike, it's always fun to be with you.
James,
I appreciate the time and the invitation.
I'm going to take you up on that phone call idea. That would be very powerful in someone's life. Call a couple people a day and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's a must. Yeah, I do it every day. Every day.
Wow. Well, thank you, James, and I can't wait to have you back, and especially when that new book comes out. And
you'll be the first one I call.
All right. And for our viewers, don't go anywhere because we're going to have more authors right after this.